What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another review. I'm AJ Legend.
And BM Extreme.
And we just finished watching Shaun of the Dead, written and directed by Edgar Wright. Shaun of the Dead. It is Edgar Wright's parody / tribute to all zombie movies, particularly that of the ones by George A. Romero. Now, even though this movie is a parody of zombie movies, it does have a story to its own, and it tells a pretty good story, and it does a pretty good job at pretty much doing a comedic version of the zombie genre. So we're just going to give you our bare bones thoughts on how we felt about this movie, and go on from there. So overall, the cast in this movie is really stellar.
Definitely.
Simon Pegg and Nick Frost play Shaun and Ed, two best friends, and they are hysterical in this movie.
They really
are. They are
are.
hilarious.
I love the chemistry between them. Just
Their chemistry is so good. You got Ed, who's like this loafer, and then you got the character of Shaun, who is always constantly sticking up for Ed, even when he should not be sticking up for Ed.
Yeah.
And Shaun's in this dead-end job where no one really respects him at all.
Nope.
Yeah. And then, of course, it's a day of unfortunate events for Shaun.
Indeed.
It's like the first 20 minutes is like a day of unfortunate events. It's
like everything that can go wrong with someone goes wrong with someone.
You feel totally bad for this guy.
Holy God.
Like, he does not like his stepfather that much.
Talk about someone who's down on his luck.
I know he does not like his stepfather all that much.
Mm-hmm.
He botches a dinner date and he ends up losing his girlfriend.
Yep.
And he and his friend end up going to the Winchester.
Yep.
Which plays a big role in the movie, particularly later on in the movie.
Yep.
Well, like the first half of this movie is pretty much a series of unfortunate events, all leading up to the whole zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, I love how oblivious he is. Like towards the beginning, like when the zombie apocalypse actually starts to happen, and he's moving on about his day, like, oh well, nothing's happening.
No, that's actually a good satire.
Really funny.
That's actually a good satire about how normal people live everyday life. They like everyday normal people. They feel like zombies because they have that everyday routine.
That's true.
So like they wake
stuck
up
in the grind.
Yeah. So like when you see Shaun just walking oblivious to everything, that's just how how someone doing a 9-to-5 job would be like. Just like gets up, walks to a place that he knows, gets what he wants, and then goes back and leaves.
Yep. Exactly.
I like that little satire that Edgar Wright threw in there with the movie. It's also a lot to do with the writing. The writing in this movie is really, really strong.
It definitely is. 100%.
A lot of the jokes in this movie, they all land.
They are funny. A lot of the jokes are funny.
Particularly the stuff between Shaun and Ed. That's where the comedy really has its highlights.
Yes, definitely.
Like those two just constantly bantering up one another. Especially and the little rivalry that Ed has with the roommate Pete is hysterical.
Yeah, that is pretty funny.
Pete played by Pete Serafikowicz. If I said his name wrong, I'm sorry. He's funny in the role. Like he has a couple of scenes, but they're memorable scenes.
Yeah.
The best scene is where Shaun and Ed are drunk doing like a little DJing, and Peter comes in and like throws the record out the window.
Yeah.
Then he starts ranting and raving like a madman.
Yeah.
That's funny stuff.
It's 4 o'clock in the morning.
Because every other funker in my funking department is funking ill. Like, can you say why I'm so funking angry?
Yes. But it's a great movie. A lot of quotable lines. The satire is done really well. Spot on.
And you know what? I like how this movie mixes its horror.
Yeah.
Because when this movie tries, it can be pretty frightening. It can be pretty scary.
Yeah.
And pretty gory. Like this movie can be really gory.
Yeah.
But I like how Wright does it. It mixes the gore and the comedy.
Yeah.
So like
it's a good balance.
So like when Shaun and Ed are trying to figure out how to kill zombies, Edgar Wright is making it feel like a comedy routine.
Yeah.
They're throwing like a whole bunch of nonsense at these zombies.
Yeah.
And then nothing's working.
Yeah. That is.
And then
funny.
They have like a record collection they're throwing as frisbees until they break into the shed and gain
different bands. I didn't like how there was like the Batman soundtrack, Fire. That was pretty funny.
Yeah. See, like, so the comedy is really funny, but I also like the mix of the drama in this movie as well.
Yeah. You can actually. There's scenes where you can feel for the characters, all of them.
Oh yeah, like when Shaun and his girlfriend Liz breaks up, like you feel bad for Shaun.
Yeah.
And of course the scene where Shaun loses his mother is actually really heartbreaking.
That really is.
That scene is heartbreaking.
His stepfather too.
Oh man, and have that moment in the car.
Yeah.
Wasn't that like
that's when it was like, oh my God, like it hit home.
Yeah, because the stepfather always loved Shaun, and Shaun just and was always tough on Shaun to make a man out of him, pretty much.
Yeah.
So it's like I like how Edgar Wright was able to he gave this movie a heart.
Yeah.
By adding in those dramatic scenes.
Yeah,
it
it's
made
not-
the characters feel like, they're using humor to try and get through a horrific event. But when Edgar Wright, when it
Yeah.
was time for this movie to get serious, it can get,
There's
it
some
can get
there's some
serious.
movies that have like too much plot point, like too much character development, too much
No, 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 no,
storytelling.
no, you
This
want-
is perfect.
No,
like,
you,
this is
no,
the
no, no,
perfect
no.
balance.
I think the correct term
I'm probably not saying it right.
the correct
but-
term you're trying to say is too much filler.
Yes, that's it. Too much filler. This was not enough. This was not a lot of filler, which I personally like. There's some action.
No, this movie was beat.
Yep.
Like you get the characters, you get
and
the
it
situation.
juggled it really well.
It did, and this is like this was Edgar Wright's like first real big production,
Yeah.
and for a first time like big production because I think he mostly did like Independence before this. This was like his first big mainstream type of movie
Wow.
back in 2004, and he did
Not
a good
bad.
job.
No.
I mean, this is the movie that put him on the map pretty much.
Yeah.
And like you got to feel for his sensibilities, like his in jokes.
Definitely. He's got a good sense of humor.
Like my favorite stuff is are the montage scenes where Shaun's saying, "We go to Mom's house, we kill Philip, go to the
Yeah.
Winchester."
Yeah.
I love that. That scene's hilarious.
That was great.
and
Planning
Ed has like some of the best funny lines. Like
Yes.
flies up in the car, like, "What's up?"
What's up? Yeah, you know that one. But
And
anyway.
you got like Ed acting like a monkey.
Yeah, that was funny.
Oh yeah, I get to mention we also got these sad characters. Was it Diane? And
David.
David, yeah. David's a real douche.
Yeah.
He's a
I
real
mean,
douche.
you kind of. I don't know. When it happened to David, I was like, I wanted him to get it, but then like at the end, it was kind of like,
No,
really?
no. Like, David kind of sealed his fate when he was going after Shaun's mom.
Yeah.
I mean, the man's just lost his mom. He kind of knows that his mom's a zombie, but he just
Yeah.
you gotta
he
take it
just
easy.
rubs
on
it in.
You gotta, that's like hardcore. What David
Yeah,
did. He shouldn't have
yeah.
done that.
No, too
mean,
much.
I mean, he gets ripped to pieces.
He does. He gets like disemboweled. He gets limbs ripped off, and
That's another highlight of this movie.
Yeah.
Like, the production value of this movie is
Yeah.
really good. The makeup effects on the zombies and the gore,
Amazing.
fantastic.
yeah,
Great stuff. Cinematography in this movie, like I said, this is a visually good-looking movie.
definitely.
It has a unique feel to it. You have a couple of scenes that give the impression that they're done in one continuous take.
Yeah.
Like when Shaun's walking to his home to the convenience store.
Yeah.
Like, that's good stuff. You don't really see that in a whole lot of movies.
You really
Very-
don't.
Very few directors do things
It's
like
a rare art.
Oh yeah, and Edgar Wright pulls it off great.
Well, perfect.
Edgar Wright's in jokes and comedic sensibilities, I think, really work for this movie. This
Definitely.
this movie feels like a fresh take on the zombie genre,
Which I like.
like up to the 2004 standpoint.
Definitely.
Like
I agree.
and I like how he made it into a comedy because you got a lot of comedic mileage out of like, okay, what
You
happens
really
if we do a comedy zombie type of movie,
You really do.
and you add a little bit of drama in there.
And you have the right people for it too.
Exactly, got a good cast, a great cast, solid writer and director.
Definitely.
I think to me this movie has
this movie's solid.
Oh yeah, that doesn't have a lot of flaws for me.
It really
to be honest
doesn't.
with you. If I give it one flaw, I would not have killed the character of Ed because I liked him so much.
Well, yeah. It's funny they kept him around though. That was
Oh,
kind of
come-
funny.
Shaun's
That was
best- I
funny.
mean-
That was Sean's boy.
I don't
Like-
like that they killed Ed, but I do like
Yeah.
the scene of the ending with Shaun keeping
Playing
Ed
video
in
games
the shed.
with
I mean, he's a zombie. Like
Yeah.
that was something.
That was funny.
I enjoyed that.
Definitely.
There's also this subplot where they keep bringing into this girl Shaun knows called Yvonne.
yeah.
It didn't really do much with that.
Yeah, I didn't know what was what it was going on there. or what was
Personally
going on there.
speaking, I would have liked to have seen like
More development there.
no, I would have liked to have seen because when Shaun and Yvonne run into each other once the zombie apocalypse kicks in, Yvonne kind of has her own group,
Right.
and the characters that she has, they kind of sort of parallel Shaun's group.
They do.
So I would have liked to have seen maybe one or two scenes of like seeing something from Yvonne's point of view, seeing what.
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
Because she's really peppered all throughout the movie.
Yeah.
Like you see her in the beginning, you see
Her
her in
appearances-
the middle, then you see her at the end.
her appearances are too sporadic.
Yeah.
Like,
I'd like to see
develop that a little more. I would have liked to have seen that too.
I'd like to have seen what they could have done with that. Like, just like,
Yeah.
I mean, you don't gotta like do a whole movie.
No.
But like, you established her and like, so maybe show an extra scene of maybe her and her group facing something off.
Yeah.
Or, I think it would have been cool, like once the Winchester gets caught under fire, and
Yeah.
Shaun and Liz and everyone else are pretty much trapped. I'd have liked to have seen Yvonne come to the rescue like
That would have been
not
cool.
with the army.
Yeah, that would have
Because
been cool.
Yvonne appears at the end, but she appears with the military.
Yeah.
I'd have liked to have seen Yvonne come before the military arrives.
Yeah, that would have been fun. That would
I
have been
think
good.
that would have been pretty interesting.
Definitely.
And I think you could have gotten a little more comedic mileage out of it.
Yeah.
Because the way the movie plays off Shaun and Yvonne, it's like they have a prior romantic life.
It does. It seems like they had like a past relationship
Oh
or
yeah, and
something.
I like.
Yeah. So I guess
Oh,
final
no.
thoughts on the movie.
Yeah, final thoughts.
I would give it. I thought this movie was really good. Very good comedic value. Very good production value. I like that the horror was well done and not too like, I don't know, what is it, hokey or
Yeah.
over the top or.
No, it was
you
over
know,
the top.
It was.
See, it was
had the
over
right balance.
It was over the top in a fun way.
Yes. Not over the top and like, oh my god, that's a lot of gore. Over the top is in like, like you said.
No,
it's kind of
that's
more
why
fun.
it was gory. It was over the top gore, but it was making a joke out of it.
True.
That's what makes this movie so memorable.
True.
It was making fun of it.
It
was a parody.
I would give this movie. I'd give this movie an 8.
I'm gonna give
Out
it
of
an
10.
8. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10 too. Very solid movie.
Definitely.
And this is someone who's not much of a big zombie movie guy because I just never got really into the genre. But yeah, Shaun of the
Right.
Dead is one of those rare zombie movies that I actually do like. And yeah,
Agreed.
highly recommend it. If you haven't seen Shaun of the Dead in a long time,
Yep.
definitely give it a watch because almost 10 years later, this movie's still really, really. Oh, actually,
It holds up.
over 10 years later,
It still holds up.
it's like 15-year-old movie.
Definitely.
So yeah, those are our thoughts on Shaun of the Dead. Let me know yours in the comment sections down below. Like the video and subscribe, and we'll check you back next time for more.
Peace, guys.